Hello guys, I hope you are fine. I just came back from Katowice. It was actually insane to see Apex lifting like that trophy he was chasing for 11 years. This is one of the trophy like as a player you definitely like want to lift in front of the Spodek. I myself never had the chance to do it, but I'm really happy for my former teammates and my French friends. So that's insane. The crowd as well was really nice and it was an honor to be part of that. And today, so we're gonna talk about like what did we learn actually for that event, because yes, Vitality like wears the champions, but besides that, there was actually a lot of interesting stories that we can see into the teams. Let's check it out. So first, we're gonna talk about the teams that are struggling, all right? And actually, because of the shuffle we had like in the end of the year of 2024, there are like many teams that are struggling. First, we're gonna actually look into Mouse that definitely are struggling from the absence of Sui, who was the leader in game, and now Brolan is taking the lead, and so far is not looking really good. They are losing like to Gamer Legion, who is a new team, to Liquid, who just like add nerds, even if Liquid like showing up some good thing. But I mean, getting 2-0 by Gamer Legion when you are Mouse is definitely not something you want to, you know, like Mouse was on the top 5 team for sure in 2024. They were always grinding from event to event. So I'm actually really scared for them, and I hope it was not a mistake to let Suhi goes away, because I mean, getting away a leader in game in your team is not something really easy, and I'm not sure about Brolang taking that role. Let's hope like he will prove us wrong, but for now, Mouse is in trouble. Other teams that is struggling, Falcons, of course, yes, it's a new team, but still, when you're actually having like Nico, Magisk, and like the trio from Heroic, who was doing like pretty nice at the end of the year, last year, like you can't just go out like that, you know. Even if they actually like get a close match against Eternal Fire because it went into a triple overtime on the second map, still the first one they got literally destroyed. Plus they lost against their former teammate G2, which was definitely not like an insane match in terms of level. In terms of like I would say show, it was really fun and nice to play, you know, like having 1AZ against Nico for the history. That was insane. But definitely like these two teams are teams that are struggling. And I mean, let's see if times will tell, because there is a lot of rumors that actually Falcons are just like keeping this trio from Heroic to actually like have still like the invitation from the event. But I don't know if it actually can click, you know. The wondering thing about that is that Nico also like didn't like showing up that much since when he was with G2. I'm assuming because like in G2 he was in his comfort zone since many years, so he was really like used to playing that team, which actually make him like a ball to perform really well. While in Falcons, like everything he knew, he got a new leader in game, he got new teammates he never played with, new environment, and I hope it's actually not gonna destroy like his prime, you know, or like I mean just his level overall, because he had been like one of the best rifles in the world for several years. So tough time definitely for Falcons. And we can also talk about G2, because G2 is also a team that is struggling actually since Nico left, you know, and we can actually talk about that as well, because they lost to FaZe, they barely wins to Falcons, and they actually lost to Virtus Pro in 2-0, not even winning a single map. Even if the second one went into overtime, the first one 39 was, can't say one-sided, but you could see like G2 was not like really like competitors in that game. So yeah, tough time like for G2 and Falcons. Both actually the funny thing is like, because of Nico joining Falcons, it's hard for him, it's hard for Falcons, but also it is really hard like for G2, you know. I still believe that Heavy God is actually a really good replacement for Nico in terms of firepower, and so far he's delivering like pretty fine on the server, but something is, we can't say not working, it's too early, but you can feel like Nico's voice is actually missing in G2. So yeah, G2 and Falcons are struggling. It's already like February, time flies. So they will need to step up like really soon, because when you are G2 and Falcons so much like big in organization like that, you want to go in the playoff at least, you know, in an event like IEM Katowice. Another team that is actually struggling, but that one is like since some times now, we wasn't gonna talk about Astralis, you know. Like since they added Cardian, actually something is not working. He has been like averaging like a really poor individual level. And something maybe because he's not actually like being the main helper, which he had been like kind of all his career, also being the leader in game. And now as a rifle is definitely hard, and he's not having the impact he should have in that team. It's been a lot of months now that he actually like joined, but we can't see an improvement from Astralis, and this is scary, you know. G2 and Falcons, we can still wait a little bit more, but Astralis is actually like something dangerous and scary for the organization. They actually like lost 2-0 to Gamer Legion, you know. Okay, they lost to Furia, they lost to Spirit, sorry. They barely win to Furia, which we're gonna talk about as well after, because it is also a team who is struggling, so it's not like the biggest result of all time. And they actually lost 2-0 to Gamer Legion, you know, which is like a kind of really, like, that's a very new team with like new players, with Pierre, Rez, Slen, ZTR, Towson, you know, trying to make it work. And somehow just like getting destroyed 13-7, 13-7 on both maps. This is not something that can happen when you're Astralis. So I don't know what can we expect from them in the future, I would say, in the next event, because I don't know how much time actually that team can actually live and how much changes do they have. Because I'm assuming because of the Valrus and the trios, they can do like a lot of changes. Also, they're sticking to Danish, and I'm not sure about any Danish player who is available and good. But my biggest question at the moment for Astralis is actually like the comeback of Guardian, because he is not performing as he was, for example, when he had an AVP. And I mean, definitely the team is struggling for that. And even as a game leader, like Astralis like playstyle is I don't want to be hard, you know, but it's a tough time for Astralis. I mean, sorry for all my Danish friends, guys, but I'm assuming like you are having hard times right now. I said it. We're gonna talk about Furia. Sorry to my Brazilian fan. I love Brazil for sure, and I honestly like wish anything but the best to Fallen and players like Cacharato, who always like stayed, besides like having a really good individual level, praying for Brazilians, and I think that's really insane. But can I say my Astralis? It's been too long now. It's been too much time that actually they are not really performing, you know, like it's really inconsistent and nothing is really like going out like you can actually believe in them. So I don't know, but you know, they lost against Astralis, they get 2-0 by Navi. So yes, you're gonna tell me like, yes, but Navi is a good team, top 5 team. Yeah, you're right, but I mean, the thing is like every team wants to be the best, right? Everyone want to live the trophy, everyone want to play a final. And with that current state, since last few months, like there is not a single world when you can actually imagine Freya getting a final. Yeah, maybe like happy in there in playoff, but are you satisfied with that? I don't think so. And from one event to an event, there are actually like teams to actually are improving, and we're gonna talk about these teams after, which is like really interesting. But with Freya, we don't see really like improvements. That's the problem. So can I say as Astralis, how much time can we wait? Last team who is struggling and showed it like in Katowice, who is not in a good form, is definitely Big. Was not a good event for them, losing 2-1 to FaZe and 2-0 to 3D Max, just going out in first 2 matches. Yes, they actually did some like changements in the last few months with bringing like some players to get there, but I would actually say like it's the exact scenario with Astralis and Freya I was talking about, is we don't see improvement. This is the thing, you know, so because first you can like finish top 16, then after you can finish top 9, top 8, top 7, or maybe you actually getting like top 12 again, but you placed against the best teams, maybe the winner of the tournament, and you were actually close to winning them, you know, and that can give you some hope. But here there is no hope to have. And even when they're going back from Katowice, you can see like they lost to 500, they lost to BC game in the Europe qualifier for Dallas. So something is not going well for Big, Freya and Astralis. Like these are the teams that's struggling. There is only one team now that I'm gonna talk about, is actually teams that stagnate, because other teams either go down or either like go up, okay? But I found it like pretty interesting to see like there is one team that actually stagnate. And I'm gonna talk about Eternal Fire. Why am I saying that they are stagnating? Is mainly because they were doing like really well, managing to even be able to maybe beat Navi last year in the grand final. I don't remember which event was it, but it was a big one. And the thing is, since then, they actually had a rough end of the year in 2024. So I was hoping them to come back really strong in 2025 because they were showing like really good signs that they can actually maybe manage to get to a final and maybe lift a trophy, because it was that close to lift the trophy last year, you know. And here in Katowice, you can't say it's bad, but you can't say it's good. They are going actually through the playoff. They managed to beat 2-0 Falcons, 2-1 3D Max, 2-0 FaZe. Just lost to VP, who is actually like a interesting team. We'll talk about that after. But they actually got kind of one-sided in the quarterfinal, even if the second map went in double overtime. So that's kind of sad, you know, like they are here, they are good, but something is not enough, you know. So I'm really expecting Eternal Fire to actually show up themselves in the next event and to finally like go more deeper in the playoffs, especially when you have Xantares having a really good beginning of the year and performing like a beast, you know, like you need to go further. I think it's really important for the organization. I think it's really important also for the mental side of the players, because when you actually like not improving from an event to another, it can actually be hard, you know, and it can also like make you lose your confidence sometimes. So I don't want them to struggle too much. I'm not even saying it's a struggle, because doing like playoffs in Katowice quarterfinal is fine, but it's time to do better. And I think this is the year for Eternal Fire in the next few months to actually like do it. I also assuming they are not that much used to playing an arena, and we saw like in interview on HLTV that a lot of teams, Blade from Navi was talking about that, for example, that they were not playing good because of the pressure of the arena, which makes things like hard, you know, and it was kind of new also for Eternal Fire. So I'm assuming they didn't really manage to handle that Spodek arena that well, but it's experience, so that's fine. Next arena is yours, my Turkish friends. All right, now we're gonna actually talk about teams that gives hope, gives faith, that you want to believe in, and even if they didn't have like the best result in Katowice, there is some things that that can be interesting. Okay, so the first one actually would be FaZe. FaZe with the addition of Elish. We didn't really know what to expect since they were like changing roles with Rain, so it was kind of like risky, like that was definitely a risky move. But at the end of the day, even if they don't do like the quarter final, they managed to beat G2, they beat Big, okay? But I wanted to point out that they had a really like close match against Eternal Fire, which is a really good team, and it is the only team in the event that actually took away one map from Vitality. Besides that, Vitality didn't lose a single map during the world event. So I think that's a really good sign. FaZe is probably a team that is having like the most difficult changements in their team because of the positions. So honestly, I think that it's okay. I'm not saying it's good, but I can't say it's bad, you know, like now next event they will have a few more weeks to actually like keep practicing, keep improving, and I'm really can't wait to see more from Fate and Elish. Another team that's actually giving hope is the Mongols, man. I love them, the ways they play. I think they are really insane players. The fact that Senzu actually like just started CS a few years ago, having only 3k hours when he joined Mongols, is actually totally crazy. And they managed to do like a semi-final in Katowice, which was better than the previous tournament in front of a crowd and an arena, which was like the Chang'e Major, where they lost in quarterfinal. Here in Katowice, they managed to beat Eternal Fire, right? And they actually just losing in semifinals against Vitality, who was definitely like dominating the world event. So there is only two teams that actually they lost to, which is Navi and Vitality, which has like Vitality was top 1 in Katowice, and Navi also did the semifinals and were really close to beat Spirit. So, you know, when I was talking about like improving maybe from an event to another, this is it. Mongols is doing that. they were improving at Katowice. So that's really nice. There are other teams that are actually like making some good show, I would say. It's like VP and Gamer Legion. I'm not gonna go too depth in this, but VP and Gamer Legion can give hope. Why? Because Gamer Legion is a really young team, okay? So, I mean, being able to do top 7, 8 at Katowice while being totally new without like big periods of experience, maybe besides race, is actually like very nice and interesting for the future. Virtus Pro, they still managed like to go to the playoff, and I think they were showing like some interesting thing. That's just really sad that they actually missed one player and they had to play with a stand-in because of the visa issue. So you can't, who knows what Virtus Pro would have done in the Spodek with the full lineup. We will never know. But one thing is sure, is like that team is dangerous. All right, they get destroyed, of course, in the Spodek against Spirit, but they were with a stand-in and it was really rough. But for sure, we'll need to look at them in the next one. Other teams giving hope: Navi, Liquid. Two different stories though. First, Navi, why I'm saying like that giving hope is because like they were the best team last year. So you expect them to actually come back to that level, right? And they actually struggled at the end of 2024. And now in Katowice, they're doing a semifinals close to beat Spirit, which is actually like definitely like the team to beat, okay, before joining to Katowice. So they are not back to the top form, I would say, as we could see in 2024, but they're coming back. And I can tell you as a player, when you actually get some slump or some down, going up again is actually one of the hardest things to do. So that's really interesting from Natur's Vincere. Talking about Liquid, I'm curious to see, same in the next few weeks. It's a bit early, but Nerds, bro, he's popping off. He was so good the whole event with Liquid, averaging like, I don't remember what was his rating, but he was like almost like first of the scoreboard every game. I didn't actually expect him to do that well that early. So now I just feel like, okay, next gaming, he shows up to the team like what he can do and he's delivering. So now Liquid has to follow him. And if Liquid managed to follow Nerds, that can be really scary, man. Last but not the least, 3D Max. So I put them in teams that gives hope, but that's a bit question mark, bro. I have no ideas why they did that. The fact that they actually bench Joko to get body in, I don't understand. Because when you look at their past results, I mean, 3D Max were actually like, okay, they were improving. They were improving at the major. Then they did a good play in Katowice. And in Katowice itself, they managed to get one map to Eternal Fire. And they had a close matchup against Vitality, who was like the best team of the tournament, okay? And then you are having like good signs of improvement. And you just replace one guy. Have to think that this core, this team is playing together besides Gravity since years now with Joko. So they do have a lot of automatism. Plus, I actually checked in depth about the position. Body and Joko are not playing the same position in game. So it kind of means also like the Elish thing with FaZe, you know, which it's not gonna be that easy to replace Joko because of the role in game. So that's a team that gives hope. I wanted to put them in hope because of what they did in Katowice. But now, with like Body going in and Joko going out, and the reason I just told you, bro, that's a big question mark. I don't know what to think about the French. Last but not the least, of course, how can we finish that video? By talking about the best teams in the tournament, the teams that are strong. So, first we'll have Vitality and we have Spirit. Don't need to tell you who they are, right? Two different stories. Again, first, Spirit, all right? When we talk about Spirit, we were talking about them before the event as probably the best team in the world, with Donk like being the best player in the world, and it was really hard to actually like, we're even thinking about the Spirit era, okay? And then they arrived at Katowice, and they actually struggled. Yes, look. They actually lost to Navi in the group stage. They lost one map to Gamer Legion. It was really close against Navy, and they got totally destroyed against Vitality. Donk also got destroyed against Vitality. He was not averaging like his insane performance as he usually do, even though he was averaging I think 135 before going to the final, which was like crazy. He didn't show up in the final at all. So, and we could also see after the win in the semi-finals again now to Vincere, Magix did an interview and he was really tilted. He was really pissed. He was saying they were playing bad since the beginning of the tournament. They were having bad communication. Something was going wrong. And he was angry about that. You can even see that in the match against Virtus Pro. No, sorry, it was against Virtus Pro that he's saying that. Quarterfinal. And you can see also like in that match against Virtus Pro, even if they're winning like 35, 75, 34, 39, I think the score were. Actually, they're really tilting a lot in game. Like, I saw Zontix tilt, I saw Donk almost tilt, I saw Magisk angry, I saw Shiro tilt, like, you know, with the face cam and stuff. And I don't know what's going on, but I hope, I mean, I'm assuming they will definitely, like, be fine with that, you know. That's why I'm still putting them in, like, strong teams. Because besides having, for them, a bad event, a bad tournament, bad conditions, bad showing, bad plays, bad communication, they managed to go into the grand final of IEM Katowice and winning against Natus Vincere in the semi-finals. But, of course, then it has to come to an end. They got totally destroyed by Vitality. It was a no match. So, like, it also showed up how strong and dangerous and scary Spirit can be. Even if Spirit is bad from them, they're going into a grand final, into like a tier 1 event. So if they fix that, it's gonna be hard. Last but not the least, of course, I'm gonna talk about my French former teammates, Vitality with Apex and Zywo. We actually, like, I'm so happy that Apex finally leaves that trophy. He deserves it that so much, bro. It was kind of a perfect run, you know? And if you want to have like a little in-depth, I can give you one. I actually talked to Apex while going back from Katowice today. And he told me like he was kind of doing like, he did the same thing as he did in Cologne, for example, last year. That he was averaging 90 hours the past weeks. He was averaging 800 kills in deathmatch every day. And plus playing Face It with the practice. So he had like a huge 2 weeks of practice before going to Katowice. Like he really wanted that, you know. And I think actually you can see it because it was not the same Apex as we usually do. For example, if you look at Spirit during the grand final, I mean, he's averaging a 137 rating while leading. Like he was definitely beasting at Katowice and he was definitely good. Also, Rups definitely is just comfortable with Vitality. There is no doubt about that. It's only 1 month, but the guy is already popping off, winning some really crucial clutches and having a lot of firepower. That we're going back to the MVP mode, 142 I think it is his rating on the event, getting the MVP. So that Vitality, bro, I'm not sure who can beat them if they are like that. But at the same time, the story told us and showed us that it's really hard for them to actually manage to keep that level. For example, when they won against Cologne last year, when they won Cologne, last year, after they didn't win a single event for the rest of the year. So, I don't want to jinx them, and I hope them the best as a French, you know. But my only question with them is, are they gonna be able, like, to win more events in the next few months? If so, that can be a Vitality year. If not, we can maybe see like the same story as we saw in 2024. But for sure, at the moment we are speaking like Vitality and Spirit after Katowice. For sure, they are the best team, and they still got an edge about the other team just below. So this is what we learned from IEM Katowice. I hope you liked it at home, or even if you were in the Spodek arena. The crowd was actually really cool. And I mean, the atmosphere was insane, and we had some insane plays as always we do in Spodek. I'm just gonna finish that video by saying like, I think we're gonna have a really like 2025 year like with a lot of competitors, I would say, we never know who is gonna win, and it's gonna be really interesting because as we could see, Yes, they are like good teams and really strong teams, but there are also like a lot of teams that actually can be able to just improve their game and their level in maybe 1 to 3 months, you know. And if these teams starting to show up and to come back close to Spirit, Navi and Vitality, then we will have like a 2025 banger for Counter-Strike. Can't wait for it. See you next time, guys. Thank you for watching.